As we said earlier, that the model that we have built to understand the price elasticity of demand of a product, we'd be using the same model to understand other types of elasticities as well. So let's now look at the next type of elasticity that we have to study, that being YED, income elasticity of demand. YED, or income elasticity of demand. Again, we'll look at the four things that we study for any type of elasticity. The first one of them being definition. So for PED, we said it's a measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded of a product to a change in its price. For YED, there would be just one change. Instead of its price, it will become to a change in income. So definition of income elasticity of demand is that it is a measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded of a product to a change in income of the people. So moving on to the next thing, the formula. We'll have for PED, we had PED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. For YED, it will be percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. There will be just one change in the formula in the denominator. Again, YED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. The next thing that we studied was interpretation of sign, but we'll hold this for a second, and we'll first study interpretation of magnitude, because it's entirely the same as for PED. So for YED, we said for PED is equal to 0, 0 it's perfectly inelastic. For PED less than 1, it would be inelastic. For PED is equal to 1, it would be unitary elastic. PED more than 1, it would be elastic. PED is equal to infinity, it would be perfectly elastic. So just instead of PED, we will have here YED. It would be the same for YED. YED is equal to 0 is perfectly inelastic. YED less than 1 is inelastic. YED is equal to 1 is unitary elastic. YED is greater than 1 is elastic. And YED is infinity is perfectly elastic. And just a reminder that we are looking at the magnitude only, we are not looking at the sign over here. So when we say less than 1, it is between 0 and 1. We are ignoring the sign over here. Okay, with regards to sign, interpretation of sign, YED, income elasticity of demand, can have both positive and negative sign. So normally what happens is, normally the sign of YED is positive. Why is it normally positive? Because if we look at the formula, when will we get a positive answer? We will get a positive answer either when there is a positive change in income, and as a result it causes a positive change in quantity demanded. So when incomes of the people increase, they increase the quantity demanded of any product. So that gives us a positive sign for YED. Similarly, when incomes of people decline, they reduce the expenditure on the product, they reduce the quantity demanded of that product. Again, negative change in income, negative change in quantity demanded, again the answer will be positive. So this is for normal goods. The sign of YED is positive excuse me, for normal goods. So when will it be negative? When will it be negative? Okay, so negative sign of income elasticity of demand would arise either when there is a negative change in income and that causes a positive change in quantity demanded. The answer will be negative. And when there is a positive change in income and that causes a negative change in quantity demanded. Okay, so in the first case, the incomes of people are decreasing. and despite the decrease in income, they're increasing their expenditure on a product. The quantity demanded of the product is increasing. Similarly, in the second case, the income of people, the incomes of people, they are increasing, yet they are reducing the expenditure on a product, or the quantity demanded of a product is declining. Now, when would that be a case, or is there any particular example in real life? The example that I can think of right now is that of public transport. So, if your income is declining, for example, you had your own transport, you had your own car or bike that you travel by, as your income declines, you'll maybe dispose of these resources, or traveling by those resources is now very expensive for you. So, you switch to public transport. So, your income decreases and your quantity demanded for public transport will increase. Similarly, in reverse case, when your income is increasing and you used to travel by public transport, as your income increases, you perhaps wish to get your own means of transport. Perhaps you'd get a bike or a car, and you'd stop using the public transport, or you decrease your use of public transport. So, increase in income results in a decrease in quantity demanded of public transport. So here we have studied all four things for income elasticity of demand. In the next video, we'll use the same model to discuss XCD, or cross elasticity of demand.